man, we have an unfamiliar in the building, an unfamiliar face. I've been getting inbox about this guy. Is he still on? Is he still on the show? Where has he been?
Oh, his stands.
Hey, he's been doing the most, man.
Definitely doing the most possible. Man, maximization is the fucking word of the month.
So from now on,
What?
you
Give
refer
it,
to
maximum
me
what?
as
Give it to
the
me.
African
Maximization.
Maximization.
That word?
Yes.
I don't know. We need to look that up. Are we gonna? I guess
Maximization.
Sound
To
good.
I'm an
maximize.
African genius.
To do all the
So from
things
now on,
all the time.
you will refer to me as
At full
the African
capacity.
genius.
And today we have a very, very special, haven't seen her in a while, wonderful, wonderful young lady by the name of DANI Jackson, who also does the most all the time.
Hey.
Hola, hola.
Women's History Month in the building.
Hey.
I know, right?
She's such a fucking
What, it
lady.
was 2 days
Yes,
ago
I
was
am.
International Women's
Day.
Day.
Yeah.
You know there's women that still don't know that's a thing?
I didn't know it.
Wait, it's actually
It's
a
an
man. No, it's
official
a
thing.
man's day. We have a day too. It's like in November, but
First of all,
no one gives a
Wait,
fuck
what
about
do you
it.
mean?
It was
Right,
like
yeah.
Movember? Like that situation?
Yeah.
No, that's
What-
like a whole beard thing.
Yeah, it was a beard
Wait,
thing.
what?
No,
is
it's
it?
no. It's an actual like women have International
Women's
Women's Day.
Day.
We have an International Man's Day.
What day is it?
The barber. What is it? Blowjob and steak and blowjob day.
No, what day of the year, nigga?
Steak and
What's the
blowjob
date?
day.
It's sometime in November. I think, I
Exactly.
believe.
See,
I don't know.
it's not a real thing.
It is a real
Syria?
thing.
Siri.
Right.
Please, somebody Google it.
International Women's Day is an actual thing. I don't
It
know what
is.
the fuck
Yeah.
he's talking
It
about.
is. Look it up.
I didn't know that April was Black Women's Month.
Oh, I didn't know that either, actually.
That's interesting.
Damn, we fucked up. We supposed to
Yeah.
do this next month.
Well, no,
No.
like so. No,
I mean,
it's
I can
women's.
be a woman and a black woman.
Right.
Talk your
It's-
shit. Yeah,
That's
get on his
actually
ass.
3 months.
We should
and
have
then
that conversation.
It's Black Women's Month.
Yeah.
And- but then there's
Sexuality.
International Women's Day as well.
Which is a whole separate
So y'all
thing.
got like 3 motherfucking days. This is some
And-
bullshit.
Yeah.
Plus Valentine's Day and Sweetest Day,
what Sweetest Day is for you all?
supposedly.
Supposedly.
It is
yeah.
though.
It never actually
Y'all
works
never
out
gotten
like
the
that.
Sweetest Day gift?
I mean, I've had people pretend.
Oh my God.
You know what I've
I gotta
had?
talk to your
You know what I've
harem.
had? You know what I've
I gotta
had?
talk to the McKinley tribe.
I've had
Like,
women
what's
that
going
let me
on?
take them to dinner on Sweetest Day. That's
Oh,
what
that's
I've
wrong.
had.
Yeah, that's trash.
They
got you.
Yeah, that's what I've had. No, that's not true.
Yeah,
I've had
you
a
need a
few-
new bitch.
I've had a few very nice.
You know what? I'm
women
sorry.
do
If they're
nice
watching,
things
I'm
for
sorry.
me
You
on
know, like
Sweetest
I'm
Day.
not
If
on your
they're
side.
watching,
I don't
I'm
fuck with none of
sorry.
that. I don't fuck with Valentine's Day. I don't fuck with none of that. So like generally, the women I'm around, they know that. They know it's. I'm
So
not
do you have like a baby?
I'm not a Hallmark holiday type of guy.
Do you are you the type of a guy that like creates traditions? Like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this like and
Yeah.
make it.
No, we do shit that you want to do. Like if I know you're into wine, if I know you're into art, if I know you're into anime, like whatever you're into, I'm gonna find
do you
ways
go
to
hard
make
on
sure
ladies'
that you
birthdays?
get to. Absolutely.
What'd you do last year?
That's
Wait, no, I'm not gonna make you snitch on yourself. Because somebody
Put
was
his
like,
ass out there.
I
Let's
ain't
get
get
to
that.
All right. So
He not talking about me.
Yeah, that's
So-
a setup.
Yeah, I don't want you to incriminate yourself.
I'm trying to remember,
Judge Miss
low-key,
Andrew
though.
will not. You know,
I got smoked though. I did get smoked last year. So the person I was dating at the time, she flew in all of her friends from all over the country. So first of all, that was
That's a
pressure.
flex. Okay.
That was pressure, right? Like she paid for all that shit. Had an Airbnb, right? It was like a 2-day situation. It was a whole like throwback 90s party vibe. Her friends were planning the party. So you know how that goes, right? If I raise my hand and all of your best friends since college and high school and shit like that, they're already in the mix of planning it. I'm not, there's no space for me there to like make
Preach.
suggestions for
That's
real.
a Capricorn thing.
But it's just like legit though. Like whatever I say, it's gonna be like,
how about you just get involved? How
So
about you
all
just
I
get
did was
involved?
give a couple of dollars, right? Like at the end of the day, you give some couple of dollars.
financed it, right?
Yeah, and not the whole thing. I ain't gonna lie. But then it was like whatever the other components I can be useful for, right? Essentially, you make yourself useful in those situations. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that was like the main party. On the actual birthday, though, it was kind of weird because we had been partying and hanging out for so long. She didn't really want to go nowhere. So we really just ended up like at the crib, like super just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
you and her?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm all about finding things that are like, that really, like the biggest thing I feel like I could ever do on a gift thing. That's why I don't really fuck with the Hallmark holidays. It's all about like, ooh, look at the card, look at the roses, all that. It's super like stock footage to me. It's super basic and regular. Like anybody can do that. That's not, to me, that doesn't really show I care for you specifically.
Okay.
It just shows I'm doing a thing because everybody else does a thing, right? No, I'm looking for that thing where it's just like your face is like, oh my God, I can't believe this nigga did this shit. Like, I can't believe that thing I said 7-8 months ago somewhere got stored and like he didn't forget that. Like he specifically did. This is super specific to me. That's what I'm going for.
Did you do that?
Last year, no. Last year. I mean, shit, she had a whole
That shit
fucking
is trash,
extravaganza the whole weekend.
It's kind of like how do you top that? I feel like for my birthday, I did some shit. I feel like my man was probably like, all
Right,
right,
like, what the
you
fuck
want
am
me to- I can't beat you.
Yeah, I'm not
like,
taking you to Paris just to beat these motherfuckers. Like,
Right, like you got a whole mansion on the
right.
lake.
Yeah, we had a ball,
I
too.
think at that point you got to be in tune with who the person is. Like, I work a lot. I like to work. My husband showed up in front of my office, home office, granted, but in front of my window to my office with a boombox on Valentine's Day playing
That's
like
it.
favorite songs. I'm like,
That's
who
fire.
playing music outside? I look outside,
Turn
I'm
that
like,
shit off.
oh my God,
Right,
that's
I
my husband. Okay, let's go.
Shout out Trav. Shout out Trav.
You know, so and you know, we've had Valentine's Day with forts and
He
but
got
his
the
thing is
good
like
forts that day too.
yo, you know, like when you were a kid, I'm a
Nice.
big ass kid, so he made like a whole like pillow fort situation, and we
dope.
like watch movies and stuff. I'm pretty much a homebody, but I go out when I need to. And then like beyond that though, he makes celebrations all year long, so it's not like we waiting
Right.
on Valentine's Day or
Yeah.
we waiting on this. He like, where you want to go? What you want to do? So I don't feel the need to show off. I don't post a lot either because I don't find it necessary. Like I don't need other people to validate my gifts.
Talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, talk
So,
about it.
but a lot of people do. They need that. They need people to be like, see what he bought me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't need that. So yeah, so it makes it more fulfilling for me because it's a us thing, you know?
Right.
So I do try to post certain things. Like I did post the boombox thing because I was
Nah,
like,
that's fire.
this
Now,
is,
wait a minute.
this
What
is
did you-
nuts.
wait,
What song? What was on the playlist?
He has some Brian McKnight. He has some Luther Vandross.
Okay.
He has some Usher. And
Early in the
okay, he-
afternoon trying to get the draws.
he
He
right.
was.
What a kid in school?
Right, exactly.
My husband a big old freak, so we're gonna leave that to the side.
Big old
but-
freak.
Big old.
Big old.
Oh,
If he ain't play this though,
Before, so come on in and close the
You don't want to sing this forever.
Let me show you what I could be. Could you just please tell me, will you believe in love and the promise that it gives? I wanna love you for life, 'cause your love is why I live. Will you believe in love and the promise that it gives? I wanna love you for life, 'cause your love is why I live.
come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We here now. We're here now. Let's get into it.
Love will have you with a bottle of Pinnacle in a park.
No, never. No circumstances do I need a bottle
Shout
of
out to
Pinnacle.
Abasi, man. Shout
Right.
out. Shout out.
Fuck Abasi.
Some African drums behind it.
Hallelujah, fuck Abasi.
Oh, that's funny as hell, man.
Hell no.
Let me.
Wait, hold on. The other side of this question is, what the hell do y'all do for him?
Damn on my
Sorry.
shoe,
Ooh,
I mean,
big
I'm
splash,
sorry, that
too.
was
First of
not.
all,
You are
violation.
disrespectful.
Sorry.
Big splash.
Sorry.
My bad.
It's okay.
Let me keep my
Big splash.
Timbs over here.
It'll dry.
Let me run
Brown.
this. Let me run this ad for Dion, man.
Say at least it's brown.
Dream Deliveries stabilizes quality and access by offering fresh produce straight to the doorstep of the Chicagoland residents that it serves. Being environmentally conscious, Dream Deliveries is consistent in reducing waste by sending packaged, pre-measured fruits and vegetables to households in need and struggling with food security.
www.Dion'sChicagoDream.com or search at Dion's Chicago Dream on all social media platforms. Again, that's www.Dion'sChicagoDream.com or search at Dion's Chicago Dream, again with an S, on all social media platforms. Feed families, create community, and fuel hope. Yeah, anyway, McKinney has an issue.
Oh my God, what is this, group therapy now?
There's no secret I don't read. He just had an issue, but we'll talk about that
whatever.
later.
Do you
Shout out
read?
Dion,
You
though,
do
man.
read.
If you haven't, go check out the Black Philanthropy exhibit at the Chicago Culture Center. It is an extraordinary exhibit. We talk about, like, we just left Black History Month. What's really interesting is, like, we all see the same names, same stories, same bios forever. We get that, right? Some people do better than others, but at the end of the day, it seems very fucking cyclical, right? when you walk through this exhibit,
Wait,
cyclical,
Amon was like,
circle,
even though he made a circle with his finger,
come on, man.
he was
Come on,
still like,
man.
what?
I don't know.
Oh my
Better
God.
catch up.
He's trying to find out if it's gay or not. Like this dude.
No, I don't know
This
if that's
guy.
correct pronunciation, but go ahead,
Anyway,
though.
but no, when you go to this exhibit, you see names of Black people, men and women, going all the way back to the early 1900s that you've never heard of.
Dropping cash.
And these
right,
are the
'cause it's
people, right? These are the
philanthropists.
people that 100% funded and made sure that the civil rights movement happened, right? Like there was nowhere for Martin Luther King just wasn't walking around with a black card.
Somebody
You know
paid
what
for
I'm
that
saying?
gas.
Right. Somebody was paying for all of them people
Hello.
to sleep, to eat. They were paying for those venues for them to speak at, like the
Travel.
equipment, right?
Yeah.
So you see such a large collection of names of people that we've never even heard about who are responsible for some of the most impactful parts of Black history, period. And Dion is amongst that group, man.
Absolutely, man. Shout out
His
to Dion.
profile is right up there.
Brother Dawson, man, some real things coming up for him. Real things. I can't let the cat out the bag, but yeah, he got some real major
Why
shit.
was the cat in the bag anyway?
I said,
Yeah, I never understood
I
that.
understood that.
I mean, who puts a
actually hate
cat in
that.
a bag? That doesn't seem like
Yeah,
a
but
safe
it makes
scenario.
no sense. Just like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, how much do we owe Paul?
And who the fuck is Peter?
Who is Peter?
Fuck you. I don't fuck with white people like that.
It's
All right?
like-
Peter nor Paul got
But
none
it
of my
sounds
money.
like a Bible situation.
Could
Peter,
be.
Paul situation.
It must
Peter
be a
always
Bible.
getting
It must be
robbed, man.
biblical.
Peter is black.
Do you know that passage in the Bible? I know
I
you
don't.
don't.
I don't.
That's
Well,
fine.
here's the thing, man. The Bible's, man, written, so,
Yeah, so somebody wrote in Peter and Paul.
Absolutely.
Random.
And it was robbing,
I mean, it
Oh,
is.
rich as hell.
stealing,
Right. No, it's got to be biblical.
I don't want stolen goods though.
jiving,
Robbing
conniving.
Peter
Jiving.
to pay Paul.
Let's get into, first of all, I think it's very important that we tell everybody how your month has been, Makinde Adedapo. I don't care about your week. I want to catch everybody up, but like, can you give me the concise version?
Yeah, yes. Actually, it hasn't been
But do
that
it in
deep.
haiku.
It
Do
hasn't-
it in
in
haiku.
haiku. One word, 2 syllables,
575.
3 syllables,
If he pulled
5,
that
4,
shit out,
3, 2,
oh my
1.
God.
What is it, like seven
Five,
lines
five,
and some
7,
shit?
5,
Yeah,
yep.
exactly. Goddamn haiku. Yeah, no, it hasn't been that crazy, man. What it really is that we just have, we're approaching festival season. And I forget every year that festival season is not just when the festival is happening,
Mm-mm.
right? The work for festivals is done damn near, it starts a week or two after the last festival. So like we start having conversations with agents and we start deciding dates and all that shit like the second week after we've done the festival, right? But then when you come off of New Year's, it's just like the floodgates open, man. So it's just like all the emails, all the phone calls start coming. So, and now we have so many more festivals, dude. I can't tell you, every year there's 5 new festivals. Mary J. Blige has a new festival that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
And she's got an
was a terrible
amazing lineup. But when that happens, when Mary J. Blige comes out with a festival, now all of the artists that you've already been in conversations with, now you got competition, right? Because that same date, that's happening in Atlanta.
Yep.
So now the pressure to get your contracts and shit locked in first is like especially when you're an early festival, right? If you're on the back end of the summer, you got a little bit of leeway. But there's also something called there's a 90-mile rule, 90-mile, 90-day rule. So if I book you, the Corner Convo, right, for a festival event,
As you should.
you can't play within 90 miles or
Right.
90 days of where that is,
Oh, for
right?
real?
Yeah, because it could possibly steal
Copy.
sales from me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you announce that you're going to be in Milwaukee tomorrow,
Why would I buy a ticket?
then why would
here?
I, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially if it's cheaper. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different deal,
Okay.
right? So yeah, that
Is that
also
in most
adds
contracts?
pressure. That's every contract.
Okay.
For festivals, I mean, for all artists, but for festivals specifically, because festivals are a one-time kind of an
One-stop
event.
shop,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So, and there's so much in it. If the weather is shitty, you're fucked either way. There's basically nothing you can do about that, right? So, in Chicago, we only get 3 months. So that 90 days is the summer. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's why when you look at, if you really think about it, you only see artists in Chicago during the summer once. It's not like Atlanta where you see Usher, this month and then next month and then Tip this month and then next month. Like they live there, they circle through there, but Chicago ain't like that. Motherfuckers don't live in Chicago like that. So yeah, that's been 90% of it, man. It's just like festivals, man. And then of course teaching kids, middle school is really tough.
Welcome
It's
back,
really
man.
challenging,
Your school. I saw some footage, man. I wasn't happy with the imagery that I saw at the school. You guys were doing chants and it felt very cult-like for children, almost brainwashing them. And
First of all,
I was a little disturbed. I was a little
Hold on.
disturbed.
I'm gonna play the shit you talking about.
You know, are you okay with being the head of a cult?
Oh my God. What just happened?
I'm not. First of all, I'm definitely not the head of
be on
a
social
cult.
media unsupervised.
And the school, I don't want to give too much of the school up, but it's like it's in a public building. And it looks like there are condos
It's not.
inside.
It's a private building.
It
It's
looks
a
like
condo.
there are condos
Yeah.
inside the building, so
Yeah.
people live there.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I don't know if I want to send my kid there. Like, there are no hallways. It's just one room.
Yeah, it's not your traditional school, which we were talking about earlier today, right? It's like schools were designed to look like impenetrable forces as institutions.
Like a penitentiary.
Yeah, and
For
so
sure.
our school
The
does
bell
not look
rings.
like that.
The bell rings. It's
Yeah, we
time
don't
to do
even
X, Y,
have
and Z.
bells. Yeah.
Really?
What y'all got? Do they, what,
We
it's
have a
only one
fucking
room.
clock. We know it's time
So
for
they
you to go
don't-
to your next class.
Wait, so they don't switch classes.
No, they do. But like, we
Well,
don't
he
need a
said
bell.
I think
It's
that's
one
good.
room.
The
They go to the
students
other
know
side
how to
of the room.
read time.
Yeah, we
Because
don't need a bell for
I've
that.
come across kids that don't know how to
Montessori
read a
school?
clock.
Yeah, we don't need a bell. No, it's a middle school. But it's like, we don't need a bell to say, hey, it's time for you to go to the next class. Like, how do you know when it's time for you to go to work? How do you know when it's time for you to eat?
So Saved by the Bell
I
is
have an
out.
alarm with a bell.
That's
yeah,
out.
Saved by You. I'm
That's
not, yeah. What was the principal's name in Saved? Mr. Belzy? What was it?
Belding.
Belding, yeah. No, I'm not under the Mr. Belding Act.
Okay. All right. Fair
No,
enough.
we believe that that environment allows them to feel like people and not pupils. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not students. They're not an object. They are human beings who are there
Being held against
living
their will.
and learning just like anybody
Yeah.
else.
Which
It's
is
an educational
actually true. Like, sit your ass
We
here.
said
You
being held
cannot
hostage.
leave, and you have to wear that. Yeah,
All right. That's fair.
it's
So
nice to have a space where you can have some freedom. I feel like that's how a lot of people
Yeah.
from Beasley were able to like.
Oh snap! She went to both
You
my
went to
schools.
Beasley too?
I'm
Damn.
a
Praise
Beasley
them.
bee.
wow.
I'm a Beasley bee.
Yeah,
Mm.
Beasley is another one of them schools that people talk about like it's Harvard and shit. Like,
Well,
you know.
don't
I mean,
don't start.
low-key,
All right.
but-
So shout out to
Just a school.
everybody.
Yeah.
Beasley
Beasley's
Academic
kinda dope.
Center.
Beasley's kinda
My
dope.
Beasley bees out there.
Yeah.
Irving Tigers.
If we-
all
if
day.
And y'all don't know each other at all?
Nah.
No,
That's
I
crazy.
graduated in '95.
Different eras, yeah.
I graduated
Yes.
in '98.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, you was
know
there
your
then.
people.
So I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, but I was in
No
fifth grade.
overlap.
Like,
Yeah.
what-
You don't really,
Yeah,
you don't
eighth
really
I knew my
grade,
old
cross.
classmen.
Are you
all the
are you
chicks,
running
for
to
sure.
check on the fifth graders and eighth
The
grade?
8th graders
And
and
fifth
the 4th
grade.
graders.
Not
knew
unless you
each
got a
other.
brother or
The 7th
sister or
graders
some
and the
shit
I was
6th
getting
graders.
checked.
Or you on the,
Chicks.
I
or
was
you
the
on the same
oldest. I was the
volleyball
oldest,
team
so-
or whatever.
Oh, that's what's up.
I love
Only
that
other thing I
school.
will say though is shout out to my mom. My mother turned 75
Happy
years
birthday.
old.
I think my mom's birthday was on the
Sunday.
same day.
It was March 5th. Yeah,
Oh, she's
yours
March
is-
4th.
Yeah,
We
right.
got some cool moms.
Yeah, no, Pisces
My
moms
mom
are the
is March
shit.
2nd, so it's
Oh,
nice.
fine.
That's
Pisces
the
moms
Pisces
are the
moms.
shit.
Look at
No,
what's
for
going
sure,
on
for
today.
sure.
I love
So
it.
we had an absolute ball. It was nothing like that.
I
She
saw
got
your
to
mama
see
dancing too.
all her kids. She hadn't seen all of us at the same time in years, actually, like maybe 4 or 5 years.
Oh wow.
So,
Shout out to Lil Bro
well, because
on,
of COVID and all that shit.
on the drums. He
Yeah,
was
he
killing
was
that
snapping.
shit.
Yeah. Naima was leading the charge. No, we had a ball. We had an absolute ball. So love you, yeah. Happy birthday. We are raising money for the album. So I'm gonna send the link to all the peoples to donate. You get a copy of the first album for free if you donate more than $50. But she wants to record her second album, which I think she should. And
Yeah.
you know,
Why
That's
not?
amazing.
out here trying to make my mother's dreams come true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Aw.
Danny-
You are your mother's wildest dream.
Like I'm definitely her best work. She says that
I think
all
I
the
saw
time.
that on
She says
Instagram.
that shit all the time. Yeah. No, don't feel bad.
What
'cause
your
you're
mama
not.
say to you?
Oh.
Oh, no. Haven is his mother's best work.
Aw.
Oh, you know what?
Shit, McKinday. You see, you making me
He
curse.
knows that. He's aware of that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Haven is the child that people are really happy about.
The golden child?
Yeah. Mine, you know, he cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Cool.
Yeah.
Aw,
He definitely
I
not
love
as
my
good as Haven.
friends. Hell no.
I am not equipped for this conversation.
I mean, you're your mother's best work. Tim is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Tim is
like,
cool.
Tim is cool.
Yo, this dude over here is
Tim is
saying all the
talented.
stuff that
Tim is
Gonna
talented.
get you
He can
in
sing. He can
trouble.
play baseball. He can coach. He is a great guy.
All
He's
that.
funny as shit.
But
Like, he is a
hilarious.
great guy.
Hilarious.
But clearly, Danny is the child that people are,
Well,
are
you know.
invested in.
So my mother actually sends me a text
Oh, my God.
yesterday. It says, "Congrats, my love. Keep performing with high energy and providing information. Remember, your laughter gives people life."
Yeah, that's because she's trying to encourage you to be better. Like, those are instructions.
He's here today, people.
Those are
My
instructions, man.
goodness.
She's looking at the show like, nigga, you could be doing better.
Oh my God. I'm so happy you're not a black mom. Oh, McKinday.
She don't say Haven text
the
like
most
that.
toxic woman ever.
Haven text go, oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Wow. First of all, I am
Did
that
you
dude.
miss him?
Who?
Did you miss McKinday?
No, fuck McKinday. You know what I mean? All day.
No, it's
Look,
fuck up, I see.
Look, and so we walk in the studio. He says, "Oh, this is tight."
It is
God.
tight.
Like,
Pause.
bruh, like, first of all, compliment shit first. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let me.
The
Take-
decor,
take-
you did a great job with the decor.
Thank you.
I still think
You
the
know,
lighting needs work. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know, I'm not on the other side
She's
of the
a
camera.
producer.
I have
She
no
knows.
idea what things
It's
look like.
actually fine. We'll take a look at it afterwards. Don't worry about it.
Don't come in here
I've been-
yucking everybody's yum, McKinday.
Exactly.
listen,
I've been
I'm
doing this
just
for a
Yucking
while.
everybody's,
We were having a conversation on the way here. It's this whole thing is like people be passive aggressive as shit, right? So it's like
Don't
you
get
be
me
in the meeting or you in the
started.
situation with them and everybody's like, oh, this is amazing. We love it. Everybody gets a fucking trophy. And then the phone gets hung up and then it's like, man, I hated everything about that.
For sure.
We know
No,
that life.
I ain't
You
take
know
it
that.
personal. I mean, it is what it is.
You did take it personal.
Switch your hands.
Yeah, right. Left hand, double. See? You know how you fix that, sir?
You put the logo on
There's a
my
way to fix that. There's a way to fix that.
I'm gonna put my books down. Any fucking way, man. Danny, before we really get into the shit, I gotta know how was your week? It's been a while since I've seen you. It's actually good to
It's
see
been
you.
a great week. I've made some great sales and some great relationships, and
But first, tell us, like, what is it that you do now?
No, actually, I wanted you to do that. Don't do
No,
his job.
no.
Don't do his job for him. Do your fucking job.
No, for real. For real.
I
She's
told
gotta
you
tell
this.
I work for her.
Do your job, fam.
You know what I'm saying? I literally work for her. Like, this is literally, she's got to tell you.
All right, so I'll take the stage. All right, so my name is DANI Jackson Smith. I will always honor the fact that I'm very, very married. And my background is in advertising production. I've worked at agencies like Leo Burnett, Havas, and I just recently left Edelman in November of 2022 as the VP of Influence. I've led diversity and inclusion. I've also led multicultural work. So in November, it was exciting to leave and do this thing I love with representing artists. I have a company called The Creators, and I was doing that on the sideline for 3 years, and then I decided to make it my prime time. And I work with artists that are amazing. They have their own cachet, but what I am is a conduit into brand partnerships and into partnerships with municipalities and things of that nature, where people really want to speak the language of art, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want to connect to people, you got to talk to people in the way that they can receive it. And art is that conduit. So, of course, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to hit up McKinday because Kende knows everything about what it means to be on stage, live performance, all of those things. And so a lot of the artists that we work with and a lot of the brands that we work with want to do experiential things like that. So my week has been comprised of pulling all those pieces together for brands and artists.
That's excellent. I wanted to find, when you brought up his name, I wanted to find a way to hate on that, but I couldn't find my,
like double dutch trying to jump in.
It just didn't work. So I let him live on that one.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, no, McKinney's he's
Wonder
a pretty.
why I've been gone for a month.
Yeah, he's a pretty shit dude, man. He's
Oh my God.
his communication is trash too. Let me just be clear. So be
16.
Be careful when you
Except
get.
there's no T in here.
You're right.
Be careful when you get in business with this guy. He may not return.
First of all,
tax.
we both
Oh my-
Capricorns. First of all, we
So
we
when is
we
Capricorn
operate
season?
at a business level that is far above your pedigree.
far, but well
Far
again,
above your
this is why
pedigree.
you're part of my team. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
exactly.
brother.
Yeah, you're welcome again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank
how
you.
did this start off with
You
fuck me
guys
again?
are like the
I don't know.
odd couple.
Yeah, like Felix. Wait,
Like, how did this start off with fuck me
Clearly,
at the same time?
clearly, I've missed my brother. Right?
It's like,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was decent. Excited to be here, man. Y'all, this group chat. First of all,
Yeah, I
right?
can't take it. 178 goddamn messages by
Which
9 a.m. It's ridiculous.
Hilarious. Sometimes it gets me through my day. But what happened this week? So paper came out, had 3 articles, talked
Congrats,
about the viaduct, and super excited to do the mayoral conversations. And I'm handling like the runoff writings for Ward 4 and Ward 5. And I think as I
That's Hyde Park, right? That's like Hyde Park.
yeah, like that's that area.
Yeah.
And I think about how hard we're going on the mayor, like who's gonna lead, but like it's 50 other individuals that make up
That
the
really
city
make
council.
decisions.
Come
And
on.
I'd be like, man, like, so are we not invested in making sure that people perform at that, like whether
Yeah.
it's at the aldermanic level, at the ward level,
'Cause those
and then the
votes
committees
matter.
that they sit
Yeah, I was
on,
gonna say, those votes matter.
So
yeah.
I'm super excited to see how this kind of shakes out. But I'm like, what else happened this week? I went to Taylor's Tacos. And we found our final DJ for Full Fest, so I'm super excited.
Wait, that's
for
the
that.
sister, right? Taylor?
I don't know.
I think it's a black woman.
Yo, yes, Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Taylor's Tacos, which were delicious. And it was funny because I was like, I should have got more tacos. And
Yo, ass
because
a
I
taco
got like
queen
3
over there.
tacos.
Yo,
and
we
then
love tacos.
Right.
and then I went to Taco Bell to get 2 other
Yikes.
tacos.
No, negatory.
Well,
negatory.
Although I do-
chicken tacos.
I do the Taco Bell run on
Damn,
like
like,
every
I'd
now
rather
and
do
then.
like a Taco Burrito King, not
It's
a Taco
true,
Bell.
it's true, but it's just like it's so close.
Don't they
I
get
mean,
shot up though?
college,
Taco burrito
so
can't be
available.
High
shot.
school,
Oh, no,
Taco
definitely, for sure.
Bell, 49 cents,
I mean, it's
$1.
also like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But as a
That's a
adult-
lunchroom. That's a lunchroom taco.
Yeah.
I mean, like
We had Taco Bell in Lane Tech.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
we did.
but
We did have Taco Bell and tater tots. I didn't know how
sponsored by the Coke.
the cold.
Here comes the hate. All right, so let's get this shit. I am not gonna let this hate happen live on camera, man. It's not gonna happen.
but if Taco Bell, if you want to work with us, I will let you know. Like we're
absolutely.
here for it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't mean to
Taco
hate on your
Bell,
tacos, but
Pepsi, all that good shit.
may
You know
not
what
be
I'm
my
saying?
favorite, but I do love you.
Shameless. Look at you,
Oh,
little.
I did do one other thing, man. I went to shout out to Jamal Cole, man. He had his
that's
hoodie
the
ball, yo.
homie, that's the homie.
Indeed.
Yo, that was dope, man. Like a hoodie ball. First of all, I'm mad that he did it before me because that seems like a genius
It was
idea.
a great time.
It was a dope event, man. But you also got to customize your joints.
That line was so long.
Got to make sure that everybody gets to see exactly. You see the 21st there.
I'm just gonna
2-1.
keep talking so the camera can keep tracking over
The
on this.
magic
area.
scene,
Yeah.
right? I can't show you the back, but there's that Maywood established across the shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to point that out. I also did that in the
My
time
block.
frame that I've been gone.
My hood, my city.
My city. Yeah, I legit.
There we
My
go.
actual block, my actual hood, my actual city.
And now he lived like in the
That was
Gold
gen-
Coast of
that was
Chicago.
genius.
Yeah, you goddamn right. I live downtown. The fuck I look like this.
What that hoodie
Hey,
at?
I still get
Hey,
back
we're
to the
moving
community.
on.
I got my man purse on the side. That's a carry my Louis Vuitton
It's Miss
man
Merce.
purse.
Look.
you miggling over there.
Yeah, mingling. Hey, that's new. We need to trademark that, miggling. So if a man giggles,
It's a
it's
miggle.
miggling. I was miggling earlier, man. It's funny as
Miggling,
shit. Go ahead, baby. It's miggling.
Pause, man.
It's a closed-lipped laugh.
Hey, look. Summerfest is back. The lineup has been announced.
Yeah.
Lineup
Shout out to
is
Dave, Jeff, and
insane.
Swain. Shout out to you, brother. A lot of people don't know that you were, heavily involved in
Yeah,
that.
man.
What are we looking forward to this year for Summerfest?
Man, so first of all, the shit has like tripled in like what it is. So last year was 1 stage. This year is 3. The way he is doing the VIP experience is such an elevated experience now. So like you remember the bowl area, right? Like where the grass was or whatever.
No, I couldn't afford to go last year.
See, here we go. I knew that was coming. That's all right. That's all right. We're gonna get to the,
You
we
hear
gonna get to the
that?
price.
I
You hear
didn't-
that?
We're gonna get to the
You hear
I'm
that?
a partnerless parent and a single mom of 3.
We
My
gonna
kids
get
were
to
there
that.
though.
Single mom of
Volunteer.
3.
Right, that's
My
funny. as
shorties
hell.
were
Oh,
there.
that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so basically that whole grassy area, right? That was where the main stage was, or whatever the case may be. It's still going to be like that, but now for the VIP tickets, they're going to be 2 long, raised. I guess I'm gonna call them decks, where you have private catered food, you have an open bar, and you have sight lines, obviously, so you can see above the crowd. You got actual furniture.
Ooh, I like that.
Those are gonna be super dope. Man, there's so much. There's a whole the 2 side stages are gonna operate in between the headliners.
Okay.
So we're gonna have podcasts on one stage. We're gonna have local artists on another stage. There's gonna be there's a straight up DJ section where it's just like shouting out to all the Chicago DJs.
All
like,
of that.
it's gonna be dope this year, man. Like he scaled Swain. It's funny, we joke about this. Last year when he did it, he was running for Congress, bro. Like he was running
Gotta
to be
love a
a
black
U.S.
man.
congressman.
Multitasking.
And doing this at the same time. And this was the first year he was
Wild.
doing it at that scale.
But you
right?
know, he doesn't do it alone, right? So I think a leader like that knows how to pull a team together
That's
and
true.
like handle
That's true.
business.
But at the same time, because he was running for Congress last year, like there was so much shit, there was a lot of shit he just couldn't do. Right. And so now that that's not on the table.
This is what it looks like when Swain has nothing else
Yo,
to do but
man,
this.
he's
That's
every
crazy.
day locked in. Like I've been talking to Swain more than I might like to because of how serious
He's
he
such
is
a dope
locked
guy.
in on this shit. So yeah, it's gonna be a big year, man. But yeah, we got clips.
Hey,
It's the first time
back on
First
stage.
time they
I'm
ever
gonna be a
performed together.
whole past
almost
drug
what,
dealer when
almost
they get on
20 years?
stage.
Yo,
Oh my
almost
God.
20 years. Like
Yeah, man.
this
Only
will
in
be
Chicago,
the
man.
first performance on soil like they've ever done.
Yes.
They've done since the last one, which was well over 15
I'm
years
known for
ago.
the flip
Wow.
of the
Um,
cocaine. I'm heavy in the streets like a 7 Series Beamer, man.
man.
Hit him with the Nina, man. With a
Both of again.
Lean, man.
Yeah.
I'm the
Them
reason
boys-
that your block is vacant. Malicious will hit you just to make a statement.
Hey, look at the fan.
Yeah, you definitely knew this
Hey.
shit. No, that album hit hard, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking for the clips.
At all.
They came out of left field and they came out with Pharrell and they came out, you know what I'm saying? Like that whole sound,
Neptunes.
that whole
Yeah.
sound like shook hip hop a little bit because it was like, yo, who is these guys? So yeah, clips, 2 Chainz. I mean, what else you got to say?
Shout out to 2 Chainz for sure.
Chainz is one of the smartest rappers of all
Very
time.
smart.
One
Yeah.
of the
Low-key
smartest
genius.
rappers. The man
Low-key
started
genius.
at 40. You know what I'm talking about? Like he's low key a senior citizen right now.
I remember I called him
Yo.
Titty Boy.
And you wouldn't know
what
what you call him?
I called him Titty Boy. He was a little mad.
Yeah,
Titty
because,
Boy.
because that's how
Come
long ago
on,
that was his
fam.
original
I did.
name. His first rap name was
it
Titty Boy.
It
Yeah,
was.
man.
Yeah, from the South.
He was cool about it, though.
Wasn't the best name?
No, it wasn't.
It was trash.
But it was also pre-cancel culture. Like this was
True,
like
true,
early
true, true.
90s.
Titty Boy
like,
might not get no action.
No, Titty
Boy was getting plenty of action.
Titty
in
Boy
the
was
What about
2000.
now?
Because he,
2023.
he had the group with him and Old Boy, and they had that one joint with Wayne.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was like when we did that Wu-Tang show. That was like the height of Titty Boy.
Yeah.
Was this like Lil Flip
He's a
era?
brilliant.
Yeah, around that time.
Around,
Around
yeah.
that time, right?
No, he's a brilliant dude though. Just like
Yeah.
legit as a person,
I
he's
think
very
you got to
smart.
give it to people that continue to evolve and grow. You know, we have to give each other space in the culture to do that. So.
Yeah,
And age literally ain't nothing but a number.
True.
I mean, it's
Yo,
weird
but
that-
you got to stay hot though. You can't be like, trying to do yesterday today.
that's true.
Mm.
Yeah, no, he's very to your point. He's very clear on what does the market need right now.
Yeah.
So 2 Chainz, Tobe
Toby.
and Guigwe, man, like yo,
Hey,
I fuck with Toby.
I'm gonna flex real quick. I
Try
was the first
Jesus.
person to bring him
don't
to
try me.
Chicago. That's on record. That's on statement. That's backed up by actual facts. No, I brought Tobe to Chicago first, and he killed that show.
Because I
Like,
throw hands.
Told it. I mean, because
Basically,
I throw hands.
whoever you are on the bench, his sweetest day 2023 better be on. All right, you got a history
Right,
maker,
right.
history maker in your bed, boo.
Right.
Well, I'm saying though, he can just get them some tickets somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's also kind of how I generally operate. But
Are there any ladies on the lineup?
so, well, I'll let him finish the musical clip there.
Yeah, that's just for Toby.
So I don't know how much of this I should actually say. We had 3 very high profile women in the queue, and the
Mhm.
negotiations just didn't work the way we thought
It
they
wasn't
would.
favorable.
We got to the point where we thought we were at the finish line, and then we found out we weren't at the finish line. And as I was saying earlier, the pressure to book for us is like right now, like
Yeah, it's
because we had to
competition
announce.
also,
We
yeah.
had to announce last week. So it's like if you're not announcing, then it's not happening. And if you're not announcing, everybody else is. And if they're announcing, then people are buying tickets for that now.
and not
and if they
something
find
else.
out later, oh, damn, I wish I didn't already have tickets to this other shit.
Right.
Because your shit is the same time. So yeah, we had some great artists. Nothing against them. It's just business. Like that's the other
I mean,
part of this.
I saw we got Shauna though. You know what I mean?
Shauna for the Hip
Shout
Hop
out
50.
to-
We got Chicago Hip Hop 50. So
Hey.
Twister, Shauna, Do or Die. There's somebody else on there. I don't think Lupe's on that one. Anyway, but yeah, we got that
Okay.
going on. It's gonna be live, man. I'm telling you.
So-
Robert Glasper, 5-time
Robert
Grammy
Glasper.
Award
Hey.
winner.
Glasper.
For
And
sure.
you know,
I
think
love
about-
him in person.
Thing about Robert is he's a magnet, bro. When he pulls up to a spot, anybody within 60 miles of Robert is coming. So it's just like they might have a show in Indianapolis somewhere or whatever the case may be. They know he's gonna be in town. They pull it
They
up.
gonna
You
make
ain't
sure
gotta
that
pay
they're
them for
there.
that shit. Dave Chappelle, if he's close, he'll just pull up and then host a whole fucking free
Yeah,
show
for the free throw.
because it's Rob. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those type of artists to me, man. That's the type of booking I like to do. I like to do artists that are
I think you did a
really,
good
really
job,
a
man.
fabric
I think he really did.
of what it is. And you know, it ain't all me. Like shout out my man Emmanuel. A lot of this is him. They just allowed me to kind of put my little extra.
Now
extra
I want to know
voice.
What's the
like
sauce on
how
it?
many
Yeah.
artists are coming to Chicago just to celebrate that? Like do we have like over like 200 Black artists coming to Chicago this summer?
Man.
Because that would be like I like numbers, you know, and I feel like metrics are important.
They normally come for white festivals. Pitchfork, Lollapalooza. Right now we have Black festivals.
Which I am
It's a big
so
deal.
in
Right?
love with.
They're gonna show up
Big
this
deal.
year.
we got
They gonna show up
Full
this year.
Fest. We
Yeah.
got Silver Room Block Party. We got High Party.
The Purple Party also. or
Purple Party with
yeah.
Brianna Gatlin. I just saw her last night, right? I was stage manager for that. So it's just like this whole thing of like, I mean, we got Juneteenth Festival that the school I work for puts on, right? So it's just like,
The cult.
so that's a part of, that's a part
You're
of,
such
honestly,
a hater.
that's a real thing though. When you talk to Black artists, you like, yo, like I might be 10,000 shorter than what you asking for flat, but know that this is a Black-owned situation.
Yeah, you're not
Right?
gonna get this ask again
And this is on
for
the south
another
side of
10
Chicago,
years. Yeah.
right? Like this is about more than just the money,
So,
which
you
is
know.
which is exactly what you call the creators.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
you're on staff. I'm sorry.
yeah.
You know, it's more like family. We don't say on staff. We say like, yo.
No, I mean,
part
like
of
at
the family.
the end of the day, man, like, but this,
I'm trying to get in that circle.
right. We're trying to get the
Corner
corner
Convo-
combo
No, but
represented.
you already
yeah.
are.
Right, exactly.
You know, we already in this
Hey.
conversation, you know?
What was that?
Hey.
But that's
The little
the
That's a happy
dance
day. Hey.
so this is Women's Month though. So we got to get to the real part, right? And y'all said something at the very beginning of the show I think was important. You said that I can be a woman and I can be Black. And I feel like that's a really important conversation. Like, how does that, I'm not going to ask you like,
Intersectionality.
yeah. How do you manage that intersectionality?
How do you manage being a woman and Black?
Yeah, for real.
Doo-doo-doo.
For real.
Because
Because at least I don't have to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Aw,
Like,
you know what? Thank
I'm
you for
barely
saying
Black
that.
for
I'm
most
barely
people.
Black.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm barely Black.
You're very.
Oh,
very-
racially ambiguous.
yeah.
You fall into that.
Yeah, yes, he
It
does.
works.
It does.
It does something. I tell you. How do I manage being Black and being a woman? I was born this way. So I think when you're born a particular way, you don't think about it as like managing it. You are it, so it's your lived experience. And I think that the more you know, the more you're able to navigate. I think we all have to be very open-minded to the possibilities of success. We have to encourage ourselves. We have to big up ourselves. We have to build relationships and networks, but you cannot be blind to the status quo. Like, I think, and I struggle with that. I struggle with understanding what the status quo is and then dreaming and living beyond it.
Explain
Right.
what you mean by the status quo. You mean
What
like,
I mean by the status quo, and what that really means is like as things are right now. So as things are right now, women are discriminated against. Black women are the most discriminated against. Right?
I would even use the word hated.
Hated. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Women discriminated. Black women hated.
both
take it.
actually.
Take
yeah.
it. I try to like I can be present to what things are, but I have to be very mindful of the vocabulary I put in my body and put in my space because I have to still live through it. So if I walk around going like, they hate me. They hate me.
Then
Oh my
hate
God,
is,
they
hate
hate
is
me.
a part of your energy,
Then,
right?
then
Okay.
that's
Right.
a part of my ecosystem, and I don't
Right.
need that, right?
Right.
Because I have to still. So I worked at a place. I won't say any name.
No, please say them.
No, don't
You
say
always
that.
be trying to get somebody in trouble.
Because
Yeah, for
he
sure.
don't have shit to lose.
But I worked at a place that was very traumatizing
Hmm.
and where I felt very attacked and I felt very hurt quite often. So one of the things that I did for myself was I would start to say like, "Hola, good people," right? Because I wanted to program in my mind that perhaps people were authentically good or they had the opportunity to be good, right? And that I wasn't coming in because I actually put this in my notes the other day that like racism makes you paranoid.
Facts.
Like, so you could say something like, "You're racist."
Yeah, you can't prove it or disprove it
I
sometimes.
can't.
But you
I
have the
can't.
racism
It's so
and the
subjective.
sexism. It's like you have the double-edged sword in that way.
The
Right.
isms
Isms,
can
yeah.
make
Right.
you very paranoid, right? And so, but we still have to navigate in them. So I create my space where I advocate for the things that I know that are right within a system that I know has tremendous amount of isms and bias. And I pray up, I meditate up, I listen to music, I move my body, I do things to pour back into me. And that's how I navigate being a woman and being Black.
For the
That's
streets,
wild.
for the streets, man, I gotta holler about my boy John Morant and
man.
the flashing of the
I don't talk
gun.
about
They,
Was it even real?
I mean, so here's my take, right? You are the upcoming face of the NBA. You're a young boy. You're the face of Memphis. You're the superstar in Memphis. When you just closed a $200 million deal, You got another deal for like $94 million, right? You're getting your bag. I believe he's 22, 23. It's hard to tell a 22 or 3-year-old with that kind of money what to do, right? I say to myself, well, his dad is much like LeVar Ball. He's very present, right?
He's also very boisterous, very.
But my question is,
marketing.
Where's his
focused.
father, right? Where's his and supposedly his house is next to his, right? You have to grab your son. I'm not saying you whip his ass or scold him, right? You can't do that. But you have to say something to your son. Hold on. You got to say something to your son because this isn't the first time that you've kind of gotten out of hand, right?
But maybe he did say something and it didn't happen. No, you know what I'm saying? The kids don't listen necessarily.
He was not perceived as the father that he is perceived now before his son got good at basketball.
No. I'm not going with that.
Yes.
I'm not going with that.
What does that even mean?
That means that if he was shitty at basketball, nobody would give a fuck.
About the father that he is.
Nobody would give a fuck.
Okay, fair enough. But at the end of the day, right, I also know that when you are that high up on the totem pole in a basketball organization, they will turn a blind eye, right? Because a lot of people don't know that if you do have a gun, it's only a 2-game suspension in the NBA, right?
Even if you're legally allowed to possess a gun.
It's a 2-game suspension.
Well, in Memphis, Tennessee, they gave Gilbert 50 games only because he was in DC.
No, only because David Stern told him, if you don't take these 50 games, I'm taking your contract.
Yeah, but that was a different era.
No, it is, right? But what I'm saying is the first thing that they say is, okay, look what they did to Gilbert Arenas, right? So Gilbert Arenas is like, nah, man, know the rules, know the bylaws, right? What you did was stupid, right? But not illegal, which is why they haven't brought in charges.
What's your real question? What's your actual question?
There's no question. I'm just saying, I think it was dumb, right? First of all, stay off your fucking phone.
Stupid.
Stay off your fucking phone.
It's just stupid,
right?
I think that so to that point, it is like people recording and creating content. You know, like is probably one of the biggest problems we have in our community today. Like we overshare. We want people to see. We have these moments where it feels like we want to be viewed, but I don't think that we really understand what that means once you hit publish or you go live, that maybe it's not for everybody.
I heard a term, I was watching a documentary the other day about TikTok. I heard a term that fucked me up. And it was called, I'm going to mess it up. It's like the digit generation or I'm gonna remember in a second. Anyway, the point is
Angry black man fist.
Yeah, exactly. White man emoji. But it was a term that basically said that they're not African American, they're not Asian American, they're digital American. Like it was a term that was basically saying that like I am from
the digital
era. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the metaverse is no longer a concept as we see it. It's an actual location to them. It's an origin.
All right, you getting real Phil Valentine to show me right now.
Well, but I think that there's still the intersectionality part, right? Because there's what you experience virtually. You know what I mean? Whether it's the most expanded version of the metaverse or whether you just fucking around on, Instagram. And then there's what you experience when you walk out your door. You know, so
which both can still be fantasy.
Well, you could both still be fantasy, but also both impact
the
way
absolutely.
you see
how
yourself.
you move.
That's the thing about media training. Like we don't like children.
That was a hell of a moan. What is
don't understand that this is
That's real though.
That was deep and throaty.
I mean, it's a real thing, right? It's a
deep and throaty. Pause. It's coming from a woman.
See, I had this conversation. Can you pause women? This is fucking Louis. Y'all getting paused from here on out.
Can you pause women?
Deep and throaty, no. Fuck out of here. No, we're not doing that.
So shout out to the deep and throaty.
Jadakiss just said this shit, man. Like, so my students are doing this project, and our project is based on like, is violence in media actually encouraging the violence that we report on in Chicago? Right? So the fact that WGCI, Power 92 play drill rap records about actual people who actually are doing this shit on actual blocks in the city. We've had this conversation on the show 100 times, right? Jada just came out and was like, yo, the record companies are taking out life insurance policies on these same rappers So they're saying, I'm going to sign you to a deal to go out here and talk about all the people you going to shoot.
So they can make money
by name
after you.
And then as soon as you die, I'm going to collect bread on your death. Right?
Not to mention your catalog.
I own all your catalog, right? So Jada was like, yo, they should be, and there's actual case law behind this shit, right? Like there are actual cases where they tried to sue Tupac for his first album, Tupacalypse. They tried to sue him and Time Warner because some white kid in the South, I think it was North Carolina, was driving, listening to Tupacalypse's first album. A state trooper pulled him over and he got out and shot the cop. But blasting out of the car was Tupacalypse album.
I mean, but let's
and you remember Tupacalypse album wasn't about thug life. He was on some Black Panther Revolution shit. But they tried to sue Time Warner and they lost.
Hello, Abasi.
Fuck Abasi.
You fucking cut me off from afar. You're not even here.
Hello, can you say something?
Trash.
First of all, I was on the phone already, but you motherfuckers would shut the fuck up.
No,
oh my God.
And you on a speakerphone in a car, bro. Like, no respect, man.
I feel like I should take a bathroom break.
Ain't no bathroom breaks. We live on camera.
Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, you guys were really talking about, I guess, John Morant, maybe?
No, man. Fuck, I have no time for your conversation from the car. Y'all niggas didn't let me call in on the show when I was here. No, cut this nigga off, man. Like,
you did call in last
man.
time.
Like, why did you do this? We were in a real conversation.
Hey, ain't nobody want to hear that boring shit you were talking about.
Yeah. Don't give a fuck. Hang up on this.
Bro. Yeah.
Hey, look. First of all right.
Hey, man, fuck this lame text shit y'all doing, man. No, fuck all this, man. I'm not here for this
I mean, I might give him 60 seconds because he went to lane.
So we got Danny Jackson on the show, man. She's also a lane night, man. So, you know what I mean? Clap it up once again.
How you doing? What's going on?
Hola.
Yeah, we look, actually, I'm calling you back.
First of all, hey, relax, bro. This nigga done called in 5-6 times each summer. And y'all probably calling in once. Bro, shut up. You was on beach one time, and your Wi-Fi won't even work, you know?
Y'all hung up on me last time I called in. I'm just making that really clear.
No, you were in the mountains. You were in the mountains.
No, you hung up.
Yeah,
you hung
them
up.
niggas hung up on me.
Anyway.
Hey, look.
What's going on, y'all, man?
Hey, man, look, thanks for checking in, man. I appreciate you, man. That means you're committed to the corner, man. Okay?
Absolutely.
Secondly, let me also just get your thoughts on this trash ass what's his name? Chris Rock. Stand up.
I mean, is it really trash?
I was gonna say it was
I knew where you were going with
that. I thought
that.
it was actually pretty good.
Excuse all y'all. Y'all probably can talk about that already, though.
No, we
y'all
didn't.
Y'all can be quiet now. It's cool. All right, cool. Even worse. Even worse for y'all. Because now I'm going. I thought it was good. I thought it was a classic, clean Chris Rock performance, man. You know, it's he does this. The outfit for fans, he came with a fashion purpose. I didn't mind the outfit. I liked it. It's cool. You know, some people didn't. I don't care.
Who gives a fuck about what he was wearing, man?
The jokes were because he's on TV, motherfucker. You watch TV. What are you doing?
No, man. I want to argue with you in person. I don't want to argue with speakerphone or boss. This is bullshit.
Be quiet.
Yeah, I want real 6'9" ass nigga in here that I can argue with.
Whoa, that's nasty.
No, I didn't say that. I said argue with.
No, he said I want a real 6'9"
to argue with.
Hey, but listen, different strokes, different folks.
Whoa, now that's pause.
Can I finish?
No, nigga, because you're in the car.
Okay,
We went on another tangent.
Can I finish?
Because we
That's
here.
cool, though. That's fine, too, though. But it was classic Chris Rock, man. You know, he had a few home runs in his performance. He also had jokes early on, which good comedians do. They tie up these jokes later on in the show, which he did. He did his classic catchphrase or one-word repetition bit that he does. It was touche and all that shit, you know. And some people, right, it was good to me. I gave it a B in the B range, strong B, you know what I'm saying? But some people didn't like the fact that he didn't give Will and Jada enough time. And I was of that mindset at first. But then I thought about it. I really thought about it. I'm looking like, nah, they got more than enough time. Because what I would have did, right now, and if I was Chris Rock, I'd have went and got Willow. I'd have roasted her ass. I'd have got Dayton. I'd have roasted her ass. I'd have got Uncle.
Yo, you petty, Joe.
Now that's funny.
Yeah, he all kind of petty. His petty is different.
Hey, don't stop that.
I'm roasting the red table.
Now
Fuck
that
that
I
red
think
table.
about it, now that I think about it, that definitely would have made it better.
Are y'all done yet? I would have got Uncle Phil. I would have got dark skin Phil, light skin Phil. Ashley, I got Carl, I got Jeffrey, I done said fuck that now.
He roasted
Alonzo
everybody.
Rivera's available. That nigga's
We got
definitely out
Drew
here.
Hill. Yeah, I only got Drew Hill because I did a song with him. I only got Josie because I did a song with him.
What was the episode when they did the video with him? Who was that man?
I don't know.
When they was rolling in with the pajamas and
I don't know
shit.
when they got the month of June to September because that's
The month of
summertime.
June.
Fuck summertime. I don't
You know, I'm roasting summertime too.
Wow.
Look where your mind goes.
Men's wear. No black suits. I'm talking about their ass too. Fuck you, men's wear.
Fuck men in black.
Clean in.
Fuck me.
Because for a year, he hit this shit. Think about it. For a year, you cannot tell somebody when and how to heal and how to get rid of it, how to vent that. For a year, he sat on this because of his craft. Maybe he sat on this event. Pause. Sat on this. You guys are super crazy. Yeah, I beat y'all to a pause.
Can't say nothing without a
He
pause.
sat
Actually.
He sat on the event for a long time and had to watch the world. Hold on one second.
Damn, nigga, now you gonna get the CTA? You on the fucking red line?
He got the window
Ain't got time for
down.
this
Where
shit,
are you?
man.
Where are you at, brother?
Nigga securing the red line right now.
I'm not finna plug anybody's business up. I'm at a certain place.
I'm in a certain place doing a certain thing.
Yeah, strip club. Under the green line.
He at the skybox working security for the first.
I'm also getting $500 for 9 hours. Fuck y'all. Cool. I ain't doing it. And I'm eating for free. And I'm eating free on top of that. So
You
it's all
eat
good.
booty for free is what you do.
Oh, for sure.
That's fine. What's wrong with that?
Hell no.
Okay, cool. You know, but Chris did a great job in my opinion, man. If it's your type of comedy, you'll dig it, you really enjoy it. If you have a pure love for comedy, you'll enjoy it. But if you're a hater like mine is, man, you know, you will not enjoy it, bro. You know, there's no way you fall asleep on that.
That shit was lukewarm, bro.
Actually, mostly fell asleep on that
Especially if the second half was stronger than the first half. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do it.
Shit was lukewarm as fuck, bro.
Nah.
I think
It was
everybody's
like
gonna have a different opinion about it, but some
Yeah.
things went way too long. Like the abortion joke went way long.
Abasi,
part-
that's Abasi's favorite part though.
Huh.
Abasi,
Okay.
the abortion section. How did you feel about that section?
I feel like, you know, hey, check this out. If you don't want it, first of all, the joke about raising kids until they're 4 years old, that shit had me right there, though. He shouldn't have said kill them. Somebody said have an abortion until they're 4, get their first report card. That was actually pretty fucking good.
I
Pretty goddamn
mean,
good,
but from
man.
how I
You know?
understand it, that was a recycled joke from somebody else. So
Right.
I don't know. Word on the street is that wasn't necessarily his original joke. So I don't know.
But it's crazy the fact that we say fuck them kids and then be like, oh, that joke is too.
but you can't abort
Yeah,
babies.
it's goofy. But do you know how many people, writers, how many singers, rappers, comedians have writing teams and recycle old shit? It's okay. He's
I
not the
agree.
first, he won't be the last.
I also feel like you're not here on the show, so cut the fucking phone off so that we can go back to doing the show.
Nah,
Like
cool.
you not
But
here,
also,
nigga.
did y'all talk about, man, you called in. First of all, you called in one
Y'all
time.
hung up.
And you talked
Y'all
about,
hung up.
Hung
up.
Boring as fuck.
I'm putting
Y'all
that.
hung up.
Boring.
No, fuck that. Fuck that, bro. It's nothing but smoke.
Like the
boy.
mic muffed me.
I got nothing but smoke.
Say what?
No.
In other news.
Yeah, adjust it, man. Hey, Bossy, man, we gon'
Ouch.
yeah, just
You going what?
We're gonna say goodbye, my good fellow.
Mike hit
the
me.
proper mouth position.
look, man. I'll call you back, man. We got business to talk about anyway, man. But thank you for picking up, man. Thank
Hold
you.
on. Hold on, bro. Did y'all talk about John Morant already?
No, nigga, you not getting no more of the show, nigga. You not here.
You
Y-
can't
yes.
keep saying
Yes,
the
I can.
N-word.
I can't to him.
Yeah.
Well, look here.
I can't to him.
Yeah,
Oh no, he
This
gets
mic too
all
close.
the smoke.
All right,
Anyway.
go ahead. Give me your John Morant take. Give me your John Morant take.
Oh dear.
If y'all wouldn't keep cutting me in, you know, I'd have been done and back doing what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Eating ass or doing whatever else I was doing. I've been done already. You know what I'm saying?
Eating
But-
ass with a badge.
Check this out. And they can appreciate this, don't no bullshit. When we first started hearing about John Morant and all this other shit, it was like when you give two kids a test and you know one of them cheated off the other one, so you come to the one that cheated and be like, hey man, how'd you get this answer? And they can explain it to you, it's too crazy. That's how we look at John Morant. Like, how'd you get from being the two-parent household, good school, good upbringing, as far as we know, to this
To this
street
hood
guy?
thug, yeah.
And-
Because his daddy
Right,
ain't
and people
real.
just
That's
stop
what I
there.
was
Because his daddy ain't
Right,
real.
and people just stop there and don't do the brain work, you know. And it's easy to see that this guy is a victim of the attention you get with social media
Interesting.
as well, you know, because
Yeah.
and the influence of the culture in Memphis and the music he's listening to. Because you guys were talking about music when I first called, but you guys wouldn't shut up. So it was a good point you guys were making.
Oh my God.
I was actively listening. I was actively listening because it's really good.
Y'all wouldn't shut up recording a show because y'all there
Y'all
doing
wouldn't
this
shut
shit.
You shut up now, bro. Shut up.
No, fuck you, Abasi. Fuck Abasi.
This is pretty much our group chat, like what it feels like.
I'm just a guest.
Welcome home to my world.
You know.
I did a little homework, right? And it seems like every time his family has an issue, they go call him his sister at school, his mama at fucking Foot Locker or some shit. It's like, bro, you guys are putting the cash cow for you guys' family, the guy that can change you guys' family generational wealth in harm's way by doing this. And if you look at the way he was holding that gun in the IG, it's like it's fake, like
exactly. I said that.
like,
Who took the
He
picture?
ain't for real with that shit, man.
No, dead ass. That's what I said. I said the
It's
same shit.
down.
This is also why I'm mad
His
at you.
phone probably was sitting down.
No,
You know
we
what I'm
agree.
saying?
We agree.
But then, right? Okay, but then also, I thought it was unfair for people to actually say, well, because he come from a two-parent household and decent upbringing, he can't be a guy that you don't fuck with. I know plenty of people from two-parent households, play their students that will beat your ass, shoot your ass, body bag your ass, and don't give a fuck about it.
You clearly won.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily have the motivation, the why.
Right.
You know, like
They're
like,
not on the world
They
stage.
not like look. It's not a story of like I came from poverty and this is why I do this. It's like nah, bro. You just choose to do this because you think that's the cool
It's
thing
your
or
choice.
the way to do it. It's
Yeah.
a choice.
And that's what I'm saying. Like his pops ain't really the type of dad that he's trying to present himself as.
What do you mean? Like the dad is also like false flagging?
I think like Abasi said, this dad, these parents, this two-parent household, they recognize that he's a cash cow that can create generational wealth. So now the parent story, the two-parent household story, they sell differently than what it really is. What
so
it
you saying that
actually
they
is.
like a ratchet ass family?
Yes.
But look though, in real life.
Wait, I'm confused. They're posturing as though they're more ghetto than what they
No, I
actually
think they're
are.
posturing as they're less ghetto
So,
than
but-
what they actually
But
are.
what I was gonna say is that
Sounds like
even
they
if
have a
you-
publicist.
even if you are less
Definitely.
ghetto, you see what I'm saying? Your kid can still choose the path that
Agreed,
is
because he should know better.
But it's
right.
hood
But just
culture,
because
though.
you should know better, don't mean you do better.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel
You can
bad
have a
for all
house
the
where
parents that put in a.
right.
I'm sorry, Bossy. I'm talking over you because I'm actually here, but
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck about that either.
You can get this smoke too.
Hey, look, but there are some parents that put in the work to nurture their children and still can't control the outcome, right? Because those kids are still humans and individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know plenty of people that come from really great homes that do bad things to good people. And then honestly, depending on who you are and who you know, no one will ever know about it either.
True.
At some point, you know, like I can't blame a black family for trying to put on airs to make sure that they protect the brand of their child, though. Like
I agree with that.
if being hood is gonna compromise him, let's try and make sure we clean like now because people are looking at us. And that's so unfortunate also that these young men are put in this position where you have to grow up in this culture of NBA that is also infused with hip hop, that is infused with music, that is infused with social media, and they're still kind of developing. Also, don't really understand who to trust, whether it's your family or your publicists and things like that.
Also goes to this whole point about like, again, black women have to do two sides of the equation. Are you fucking with me because it's a time to fuck with women? Are you fucking with me because it's a time to fuck with black people?
But I don't know if
Is
that's
it
just a
easier?
woman thing. I think at the end of the day, we need to start getting really real about what it means to be a human and what it means to be responsible
Facts.
to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't understand that coming out with a gun, even if you holding it like it's a goddamn dirty diaper,
Yeah, exactly.
that mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to get more
It
present.
looks bad, you know, like but
It
I do
don't
I
just
do,
look
I do
bad,
imagine
my
like
dude,
if he
it
was
is bad.
if he went camping and it was a rifle, for example, like context is everything. Like
If it was
where
written out.
where
If it was
you
Kyle
are.
written out.
If you were Caucasian,
Yeah.
shooting
Showing
a
up to
deer,
Kenosha.
Yeah.
No, shooting black people.
shooting black people in Kenosha,
Right.
you'd be A-okay.
Exactly.
God
Y'all
damn.
hold that thought. Y'all hold that thought.
No, you know if you're finna leave, ain't gonna leave this nigga on the phone.
Can you bring back some
All this
guacamole?
fine and dandy. I can. I sure can. See,
He said, I can't. I sure can.
Oh, you bringing guacamole?
Abasi is not bringing guacamole.
You got a lot of
Guacamole out
wind
of somebody's
situation
ass.
going on. You might want to put the wind guard on your phone.
The wind guard.
Something's
No, he's in
happening.
his police car.
Oh, okay.
No,
You pulling somebody
I'm in a
over.
soundproof car right now. No, I'm actually doing a side gig right now. But I do this a lot. But I always make time
Do you
for the
side
that's
gig?
one of the benefits I have.
He's
Yeah,
a
so-
stripper.
But anyway,
Ooh.
to
might need your
wrap what I was
services.
saying up in a nice, neat little bow, put a little cherry on top of what I was saying.
Why are you putting cherries on
Yes.
bows?
I think this is all a byproduct of social media, not his behavior. All that shit is him or whatever he's had access to or influenced by.
Like
But this was
emulating.
going on before social media was really
I can
popping.
give- I
Like
can give
people
you a
been doing
person-
this.
I can give you a first.
First of all, you
I'll
hearing the
give you a
delay
person.
because you're on the phone and you're not here. So you
She
getting it
did
5
that
seconds
person.
later.
I don't care about that. I still don't care about that shit. Like 5 minutes ago, I still don't care. All right. So we had a player. We had an individual that went to jail in high school. Okay, for something he didn't do. You would think this person, as an adult, would not want to put himself in a position to where he would be able to be at the expense of law enforcement and maybe go to jail. And when it came out when he retired, that this guy did all kinds of shit, beating up his baby mama, all kind of bar fights, all kind of guns, drugs, and jewelry.
Are we talking
But
about
we didn't know
John
about his behavior because we didn't have social media. We talking about Allen Iverson right now. See how similar that shit is?
Oh wait, so he was incarcerated. He didn't do something. He was
we didn't know about-
incarcerated,
Yeah,
and then
he went to
he
jail
came
and
out and he carried that new identity with him because your environment technically can shape you. You know, so
can.
you as you assimilate back
point
into
was, my point was something totally different. My point was something totally different, though. You know, we haven't been giving John Morant grace because he's had a bad summer or two. Allen Iverson had a track record a mile long. But we gave the answer all the grace in the world.
he was
And
cute too.
Somebody
I
tell me
disagree with you a lot.
Yeah, like,
Wait, so why do you
Yeah.
think we gave Allen Iverson so much grace?
we didn't. Like the thing is that
because
the media was a
a lot of things
different
we did not
beast.
know, and because he was a person that brought what we thought
What are you
NBA was missing to the NBA. He brought hip hop and urban culture to the NBA. He said fuck practice. He said fuck leadership. All except for Larry Brown and John Thompson. But this is always in the news. We always overlook it because we liked it. People tend to like and give a pass to what people tend to give a pass to what they like, what they don't like or don't know.
I wonder
They
what
won't
you
give a
look
pass.
like right now while you talking
exactly.
on. All right, like is your hand
He
moving
got
towards
glitter
the
on his.
phone?
He got glitter in his afro.
After Abasi's, what would you call that? Third party calls? That's third party?
Sure,
Nigga,
third
you
party.
called him.
Hey, I've called you too, brother. God damn.
Love is love.
You got
Love is love.
a lot of smoke for Abasi. I can't wait.
Dude,
I can't
the fact
wait.
that he's not here, like I'm really
So that means we're not going to see you for another 5 shows?
definitely not. I'm not fucking with you. Definitely not.
Fuck,
we
I
gotta have Kende call in.
Yeah, exactly. I feel a way about the black people that were killed in Mexico.
I don't.
Okay, wait, pull it back. What all happened? I don't know all the details.
So
Black
needs a
people getting
story.
killed everywhere.
Okay, so from what I understand, 4 black people went out there, 2 guys, 2 girls.
They drove. No, it was 3 men, 1 woman.
Oh, 3 men, 1 woman. Okay. The woman was going to get a tummy tuck. Okay.
In a part of Mexico
in a part of
that
Mexico,
the
in the hood.
American government had communicated
Kidnapped her,
not
kidnapped
safe.
them, killed 2 of them.
shit.
and
Okay,
one-
so
one
we
is-
gonna have to talk about that part right
For
now
sure.
with the fact that you need to get something done so much you gotta go
to
visit the
Mexico.
cartel section.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I will argue Abasi's point in his absence, begrudgingly. I love you, Kende. So he said, "What if she needed it?"
Did she need a tummy tuck?
There's no needing anything cosmetically done
Why couldn't she get it done in America?
because she couldn't afford it.
I understand cosmetic surgery because I've had cosmetic surgery before. And you make these choices because it's important for you to feel good. It's unfortunate that here in America, we cannot access the services that we wish. It's unfortunate that
You can't. It just costs.
I'm not buying that shit. Right?
well, she went where
I'm not-
she could get more
I'm
bang
not
for her
buying that
buck.
shit. At the end
Shit,
of the
that thing
day,
cost.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's about vanity, right? You are watching everything on Instagram and comparing yourself. Everything on the videos, all these women that you see, you're comparing yourself to them.
I don't agree
and,
with that.
and at the end of the day, there's not a man that you can't get. Someone's putting dick in you. right?
But it's not the one I want.
Okay.
Hold
Oh,
on, like,
wait now. Wait.
what are we doing? The
wait
tummy
now.
tuck? Get in the fucking gym.
But wait now. Come on now.
The tummy
All right.
tuck?
All right, look.
Why you gotta say
I'm
it like
not-
that?
My
You
goal.
definitely need your tummy tucked.
I'm gonna get in the gym.
my
I've been
goal-
there. It's not a
You ain't
problem.
going to no damn.
My goal is never to like ridicule the woman that feels like she wants to have a particular surgery.
Yeah.
But when we do things, we really have to weigh out the opportunity cost, right? So the opportunity for you to be in a surgery with a doctor that is not up to par. At this point, we've seen the
License.
deaths. We've seen the deaths.
Which is all over social media, so you know the risk, right?
So,
But it's worth it.
But here's my thing. My thing is like, at this point, things happen, and we need to just encourage people to take some stock in themselves, to love themselves a little bit more. I mean, it's a lot of things that's happening. It's not just mind, it's mind, body, heart, soul, like how you feel about yourself. It's a whole thing.
So in science, we talk about fecundity and
what is that?
Yeah, spell like, that's a
Fecundity.
10. That's a 10.
13.
I need that broke down.
Fecundity.
What is it
Hold
called?
on, let's spell that. Hold on, wait a minute. FEC what?
You fecundity. Fecundity,
Oh,
right?
shit. Okay.
And so
Fecundity.
this
The
is a part of
ability to produce an abundance of offspring or new growth.
Okay, so we talk about fecundity and human mate choice.
Mm.
There's this correlation between your affluence or how much money you have or how big you are and your opportunity to mate and reproduce. But there are things that come into conflict with it. So as you earn more money, for example, you might become at greater risk of not procreating, right? So think about a man who, like, if the biggest dude gets the girl, but if you get big by using steroids, the risk is low sperm count and you possibly could have a heart attack. But that's the
trade-off.
Give
That's the
take.
trade-off.
I definitely got some guys use steroids. Rob, man, what up, man? Stop it.
Wow. Jesus.
Not to
Is he
put
a
you
friend
on
of the
Front
pod?
Street, but
Is he still gonna
that's
be a
his
friend of the pod?
Like, he actually likes this guy.
No, he not on them, man. It's just a running joke.
Oh, okay.
They did get randomly big. Like, I don't know.
Whoa.
God.
Oh, y'all. Oh, these are self pauses. I gotta know when to self
they're
pause.
pausing themselves. We
Yeah.
don't even need to
So
pause.
You have to
I do believe as we have more money, we have more options, right? And
That's
so
a good point.
you get
But you
get
have
to
less options, actually. Black women have less options. The more money you make, the more successful you become. There are less men that can match.
Oh no, I'm just talking about
/pair.
like money, what you can buy. Right.
Oh.
So if you have
in terms of surgery.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if now I'm earning to the point where I'm eligible for a line of credit for cosmetic surgery because there have been advancements in the extension of the line of credit, both for dental. Thank God, because why is fucking teeth so expensive? Jesus
Because you
Christ.
need them to survive.
to chew.
Yeah, but I mean, man.
To eat, right?
Without them, life is hard as fuck.
There's insurance for there's insurance for your teeth. There's also for your pets, and
You can
now
live
there's a
without a
line
house.
of
You can't live
credit
without
for
teeth.
cosmetic surgery. And so when you get to a certain earning space, now you can start to accomplish what's the return on the investment? If I invest in my body, how is that going to help me either make more money or have a better quality of life? You know, so I feel like Black women who have the money to make physical changes, whether it is investing in a private trainer, which is crazy expensive, or changing your work hours so that you can get in the gym because that costs in a different way, or you have the opportunity to say, you know what, we gonna drive across. This is an opportunity for me to save a little bit of money. It's no different than people going up to Canada to try and get their services and products either. It's just for a different reason.
This is not just a service and a product. This is your life. So I do want to be...
All medication and services are, though.
Sure. And
People
I don't-
travel across state lines for
I don't
abortions.
always trust the FDA and everything they say. But however, I do think that we have to take a special interest when it comes to trying to get a shortcut around surgery. Any minor surgery is a major surgery.
Yeah.
You might lose your life. We have had enough women trying to get BBLs in hotel rooms that have died.
Yeah.
We have had enough people, even men, trying to get pectoral implants that ended up getting breast implants.
That's a thing.
You know, when you walk past, yo, I straight up remember this, on Fulton Avenue in New York, walking down the street. Here's a Subway, and then here's a retail store that says surgeries. And I'm like, should I really get my surgery next
At
to the
Foot
subway?
Locker?
I mean, black people
Maybe
usually.
I
shoes, and let me go
Maybe
get
I
a
shouldn't
new
do that.
shoulder.
But so back in the day, like black people, if there was no black dentist, you
this
had to
ain't
get
the
your
dentist.
teeth pulled by a vet. Like, let's be clear, like access to medical.
This ain't the dentist.
No, so what I'm saying is that access to medical services has never been something that's been equitable for us.
Sure,
ever.
I 100% understand the disparities in, medical care. However, when it comes to protecting your life, think about the woman who got the tattooed eyeball. Did she have to get a tattooed eyeball?
People can adorn their bodies however they wish.
Sure, and she went blind.
That's the risk.
And that's the risk. Now she
And
can't
it's people
see.
that get jail tattoos. There's kids that get tattoos at school and end up with skin infections.
I'm not discussing the range of things that people can do. What I'm actually encouraging us to do is to really think about the why. We are doing it not to just, we're doing it to appease somebody else. Right. And at the end of the day, when you're sitting alone in your home and having to actually deal with the impact, you want to make sure that you're going to the safest place possible.
But we don't know what people are doing it for,
Let me ask you a question.
I'm just saying, doing it.
Do you have tattoos?
I want one. I'm getting 2 this year.
Wait, but you don't have any.
I got a guy. I know a guy. I got a
I'm
guy.
getting 2 this year, though, but I don't have any yet.
So I don't either, right? And how many tattoos do you have?
19.
Exactly. Right. So here's the thing, right? We talk about. I think this is what's kind of happening, right? It's like there's this idea that like there are people that see their bodies as their platform in the world in a real way. Yeah, and in a real way.
And I think that's okay, but
we're not those people.
Well, okay, no, listen. I actually think a lot of things are beautiful. I have actually nothing against plastic surgery. What I'm saying is that when making your decisions, because we've seen the results of trying to go overseas to get things cheaper result in death, you have to be more discerning.
Yeah, don't go to the corner store. Right, to get your motherfucking...
there's also some background.
But, a lot of things that happen is that a lot of people give recommendations. People give recommendations and they think like, oh, my homegirl went and it worked out for her.
But we talking about a culture of people who are constantly getting our services from back alley mechanics. Right?
Yeah.
This literally is our culture.
Your body ain't a car,
right.
Even still,
you get one body, I can get 20 cars.
I understand that, but it's just the culture of how it is. We like what our economy is.
But listen, there's background story. She did a full documentary.
Indeed.
Based on black women who were doing.
So it's called Backside Stories, and the whole focus is about women that are like the encouragement around Backside Stories is to celebrate our backsides, regardless of what shape, size
you got a fat ass, you should celebrate the fat
whatever
ass.
you got, celebrate it. But at the same time, it's not about disregarding women that want to get implants, right? Like do whatever you would like to do,
right?
But you need to be knowledgeable. You need to really do the research. And sometimes the research is not enough that my homegirl's homegirl got it and it worked out for her. Right. Because that quick fix for that person might not work for you.
Nigga, you in jail.
But this speaks to like our culture of how it is we purchase products and services.
Yes, word of mouth is important.
That's literally the culture we come from. And now we're seeing the consequences of looking for ways in which to save money, working with people that aren't necessarily licensed and bonded. That is not something that's necessary for you to get money or get things that you need in your everyday life. When I think about people like owning a home, I never saw a real fucking truck come up to our home that was licensed and bonded. It was always somebody that just knew how to do something.
She's speaking into my heart right
now, like how, like
I'm traumatized
to be raised in that sort of economy where we don't know if you are like if you're solid, if you're licensed, if you're insured. Like we've never asked any of those questions, and now we're in a position where we have more money and more mobility. I think for me, it was kind of like 3 black men got in a car and traveled across this nation
to protect her.
To bring your shit
to get this woman, which I thought was like you had 3 men looking out for you, and that's
you knew
love.
You was going to the cartel, like you knew it was gonna be smoke.
Right. But that's love. When we talk about like showing up for someone, that's friend, that's family. Like, we're not letting you do that.
I'm sorry,
we're not letting you.
No,
there were 2 people were murdered.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yeah,
her included.
Oh
No, she.
Oh my God, this ass was not worth it.
It ain't gonna be worth it for nobody.
No, they found
That's
her
gonna
and
be
one other
depressed
guy.
ass.
So it was two men that were because it was one woman and 3 guys.
That is
Okay,
I'm so, that is so sad.
Not for the tummy tuck, but she did. Well, it was reported that she watched her brother die.
Yeah.
Which is
my
crazy.
God. When people think about black women, the stereotype is that you got a big ass. Black women got big asses. Black women got flat stomachs. Black women got boobs.
Mexican women do not have big asses.
But my point is this:
Generally.
is that we have to be comfortable with who we are and who we want to be and see forward to protect ourselves. I'm a black woman living in America. It's some areas I ain't rolling into. You see what I'm saying? Look, I went on a hiking trip one time. Lady wanted me to go knock on doors. It was a very white neighborhood. I was like, hey, look, I got a bandana on. I'm looking very hood. I can't just be
I want to live today.
I want to live.
I choose life.
So in the same way, we have to be present to the dangers that are out here, that there are people that will just take our money.
And I think it's
mess up our surgery.
it's the freedom to take risks. Right? Like we all are free to
God
take
bless.
whatever risks, whether
think-
it is. It's some people that don't want to come on the south side.
No, I think
it's people that don't want to come past Hyde Park.
Like
Okay,
it's the
but
old
that's their
school saying
comfortability.
of common sense, right? Everybody doesn't have common sense. Common sense is not common, right? There's no fucking reason in the fucking world that I'm traveling to another fucking country. I would rather find someone here in Chicago to do shit. Because if my shit go wrong, at least I know how to pull up on you. Men like you.
Yes.
Right?
Come on now.
Men,
Talk on
men
it. Speak on it.
actually are into you.
That's a good point.
The shit that you think that you need, you actually
really don't need it. You're
You
right.
actually don't, because he's still going to bend you over and smash you.
Okay.
Okay, but can I say this? If that's the case, then I need more men to say it out loud. Because what rings true is the bullshit that's in porn and the perfection that is in other forms of media. And so all of that together makes people think they have to be a certain way. Like there are some cultures where being fat and being big and being very, girthy is the most beautiful thing. And so people aspire
it
to
is.
that.
Nigerian
But it-
culture,
but-
Ghanaian culture.
But
yeah.
here we aspire to some other forms of perfection.
That's like European
the
bullshit.
Coke bottle.
And I don't even know if it's European anymore because now we
It's
dealing
black,
in some
yeah,
other
black
stuff.
people sell it more than anybody else.
We selling it some other stuff here, right? A big booty with teeny tiny
Meg-
thighs. It's some things that
Meg,
just
Cardi,
don't add up.
all of Lil' Kim,
Look,
they're selling this
love-
shit more than Europeans.
Love
are selling this
thyself.
shit.
Like there's no one that can tell
Love
me
thyself.
I'm not that dude when I walk around.
Hey,
right?
I had a friend
you
that say,
can
like,
also
hey,
challenge
I'm
your
the shit
body
even
how
when
you-
I'm fat. And I was like, damn, I gotta get that sort of energy because I didn't gain weight.
I think
And
everybody
I need to
should
still
like
feel
we're all
that.
allowed to adorn our body and change our shape. I think when you start to cut corners, because of like I have to work more hours to afford this. Like we've seen people cut corners on properties. Like I can't wait till we talk about fucking slumlords.
Let's do
Right.
it.
So we talk about like people, cutting corners and traveling, but we have people right here with properties that are dilapidated that don't contribute to the economy,
Hey,
but
they
they're
make a
able,
ton of money
they
on
make,
it. Yeah.
so we see people cut corners.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
the biggest question is like, how do we all reflect on what is it that we've purchased for the cheap and has it been worth it? Because if we,
a lot of times it's not.
if we rationalize the value of it, no one's going to stop. Like there are certain things that I buy, certain places there are ways in which I save my money and buy something cheap or do something, cut corners, and it doesn't necessarily hurt me.
All right. To answer your question before we move on, it's $2,500.
Now we see why she went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Up to $4,500.
Yeah, most
Now we
credit
see
cards
why.
come with
Up to
a $10,000 balance.
$45,000
No,
or $4,500.
$4,500.
Now we see why.
$4,500.
Yes.
Yeah, most credit
In
cards come
Mexico.
with a $3,000 to $6,000.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, talking about
that's-
50%
that's
cheaper.
not- that's the look,
$2,500 for
your
a tummy
body
tuck.
is not worth it. Your life
Your
is
life.
not worth it.
I wanted to steer the conversation
Steer it, brother.
to you, right?
Oh, me. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you're here. You're not a fill-in. You're not a seat filler, right?
No, definitely not.
Seat filler? I'm toilet.
I want to talk.
Okay, this is from Abasi. He says, I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts.
I guess that last one's for me.
Oh, we love you, Abasi. Hell no.
I got the hate joint too. That's funny as hell.
Neither of y'all bet not ever call in while y'all not there. I'm going to make it super difficult.
His petty is different.
From the bathroom? Oh, there's a camera in the toilet, just FYI.
Yikes. I'm aware.
Picking up off of your documentary, like I really wanted to dive into you again. You're not a seat filler. And I want people to understand who you are, why you're here, right? I have not watched the doc, right? But from what I know of you, I know that you are very intentional about what you do, how you do it, and your wordplay with things, right? So I want to know about the doc, first of all, and where can I find it so I can watch it? Is it out here?
Right.
He gonna try and watch it for free.
The Black creators struggle.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right. So if it's not, that's fine, but just tell me the process.
yeah, I mean, you guys can go to backstories.com to see the trailer. But I am reworking what the next iteration of this will be like. So Backside Stories, and I probably just said the website wrong. So it's backsidestories.com.
BACKSIDES.
Yes. BACKSIDES.com. TORIES.com. Backside Stories.
Okay.
So the documentary is really about how we see ourselves through the POV of our backside. So if you consider like what the conversation was about vagina monologues, this is a similar type of conversation, but a little bit more open and broad, right? So not just, white women talking about their bodies, but, people that identify as women or are trans women that are trying to relate to their bodies, right? And it's the relationship that you have with your body. And my POV is that you can understand a lot about a person by how they see a particular aspect about themselves. So, again, the big question, or one of the big questions in the documentary is, are you less Black if you have a big butt? Are you less white if you...
Wait, less Black if you have a little butt.
Sorry, I said that so backwards.
Yeah. I was like,
it's the drinks you guys been giving me. Are you less Black if you have a small butt? Are you less white if you have a big butt? And that's just because throughout history, we have been categorized based on our body shape.
Venus Hottentot.
Exactly. So, the Venus Hottentot, Sarah Bartman, is a grand example of that. And thankfully, her body was able to go home to rest in South Africa after many years of being put on display.
Yeah.
In a museum. In Europe.
Is that the picture that floats around where her shit like just...
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She has a big bottom. What's interesting though is like, child. When I started this project, I was like, wow, look at her body. And then like, there are times when I look in the mirror at myself and I'm like, shit, you ain't that far off, my dude. Like, God damn.
Ain't nobody hashtag Hottentot.
But what's interesting is that I've never been a person that, has wanted to flaunt that, because I felt very vulnerable in that aspect of my body, right? So similar to the conversation we had earlier, where it's like you can be attacked just based on your body shape. Yeah. So I interviewed a person who was like, hey, look, I was working at my church and I was doing these things for the church and I had on pants just like everybody else, but I was told that I was trying to seduce the congregation with my body. And all I had on was
simply
khakis.
Because it was my body.
Simply because it was my body and I had on khakis and I was doing what everybody else was doing. But, my pants don't fit the same. Right. To your point, my shirts don't fit the same. So all these things make us very vulnerable to how people see us as women. And, it's a very delicate conversation. So
everybody sees curves as freak.
Or you trying to sabotage.
Yeah, that shit is power.
Well, they say never trust a big butt and a smile. So what does that really? What does that? But what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? So I've had people tell me like, well, you think you the shit because you got a big ass. I'm like, well, do I?
She's like, I haven't thought about my ass today.
People will treat you mad weird just because of how your body is shaped.
But see, like if I see a woman with big ass hips and all that shit, I know you've heard this since you've had it,
100,000
right?
times all day.
I'm acting as
Dude,
if
from
I
a
don't see it, right?
child.
I'm not validating it at all.
Yeah, but it's some people
That's a
that
good
are a
point.
little bit elevated and can think ahead, and then there's some people that are real basic.
Yeah.
It's a lot of basic people out here. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? So it's very interesting to know. Like I've been getting these comments since I was 12. You know, from people that was way older than 12.
I think all of us probably had in a different aspect, height, skin color, you know, bust size.
Exactly.
But like one of the things I wish is to kind of normalize that all of us have either been body shamed, we've been kind of put into a box because of our physical identities.
Or your
and
name and shit.
yeah, like, but
Like,
those
yeah.
are the things that we can relate to. And so how does it feel for people to always use the color of your skin to determine how
Who
it is
you
you
are,
are
right? Yeah.
or how they listen to you? How does it feel for people to always make a comment about, you know, your height, for example,
Right.
and to hear that every single day of your life and how that changes how you see yourself, how you present yourself, how you talk to yourself. The
also-
unfortunate part.
also
To the point where you
No.
feel like you need to change it in Women's History Month. Like the real conversation here is that, and we're not just talking about slavery. We're talking about pre-slavery, pre-American colonial, whatever.
I definitely
Africa.
think so.
I think that's an aspect of the conversation, but there's how others treat us and there's how we treat ourselves, and we have to address both. Right. So if within our what's supposed to be our safe circle, we devalue each other because we don't have what is the stereotype, that impacts us differently, even than what white people say or what others say. Because to a certain extent, you be like, oh, that's them. They don't understand us. But when we don't understand us, that hits us even differently. You know?
It didn't feel good being a kid and people touching me without permission. I hated that. Like I used to get like people grabbing my breast, pulling me, you know, like it would, and that was hard. And so it's like, how do I get out of this space? And then when I started stripping, I was like, oh, this is how I get out of this space.
Oh, that's how you do it?
Like now, I am in charge.
Now you have to pay me for these moments.
Yeah. So it was a switch that flipped because the mentality that it took for me to get on stage and sell my time, you know, sharing my body was on my terms. Right. I also had people to protect me from if you go past the boundary
that I
you
set.
are not. So I needed some way to reclaim, this is mine, this is why I'm sharing it, this is how I'm sharing it. And it did help me tremendously mentally about my body, about my shape. And I can remember just looking mad regular. And I because sometimes you could tell a stripper is a stripper. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just like
you don't give off you don't give off stripper vibes.
She's shopping Akira on Thursday.
Yeah, but even when you're off,
shout out to
and
Akira
you're just
for
like
having
a
some really
regular
good options.
person, people be like, "Oh, you look like you dance." And I remember being at the gas station. I had on like some jogging pants and like a sweatshirt, and dude was like,
they stay comfortable.
You look like you dance. And I was like, what makes you think? He was
you got
like,
flip-flops on and yoga pants.
I don't know. Like
No,
you just carry yourself
that
like
was the come up. That was the come up. Like don't be fooled by that.
I did say, hey, so this what time my shift starts.
You are so
because
funny.
I'm looking for a new client.
That's all that was.
He was like, that was a line.
No, but
that's all that was.
dresses comfortably when they're not dancing. Like what I'm saying is like when your body
I never
is
knew
your
that. Somebody asked me that before. I didn't know
right?
that was a thing.
They don't dress like
a
that in
real
the
thing.
streets
Yeah,
because ain't nobody giving me money
Ain't
right
nobody
now.
getting no money. Yeah, you gotta pay to see this.
I'm finna be in yoga pants. I'm finna be super comfortable. I'm gonna have on fuzzy ass motherfucking slippers and shit.
Can we do this? But I want to get into the ghetto spelling bee because I have
The
some
ghetto spelling bee?
I
gotta talk about
I have
this,
some
though.
intellectuals around me.
we can't talk about that.
God,
right now.
I'm not great at spelling.
No,
but
it's just a little quick segment. No,
Okay, go ahead.
It's a little quick segment. I'm sure Mila has
Wait,
something.
you can't cheat with your phone now.
Yeah,
What
I'm
you
not
doing?
playing.
Before we do this segment,
Man,
I'm
I hope I
saying
can
right
live up to
now,
this.
I'm announcing right now that group of people wants me and you to do this event officially and specifically because they know that it originally came from you.
Thank you.
So go ahead, do the segment, but this is about to be a real event.
For sure.
I'm so excited. All right, so
Well, this is a test drive.
Yeah. All right. So the way the ghetto spelling bee works, we don't, like you really can't spell ghetto words, right? But the premise is you got to spell it
Like fuck around.
in interesting ways. All right.
Use a Q.
I'm about to win. I'm about to win this shit.
This round is in your
spell in real life
at all. Hello,
but no,
genius.
yeah, you got to do it in your best Biggie Smalls voice.
I ain't got no
No.
All right, McKinley. This is a soft or lame person, a peon. Spell it in Biggie.
It's not square.
Peon.
Were you actually spelling peon? Or
You got to
another
spell
word?
peon,
Peon.
but you got to spell it in your
I thought
Biggie
That was
voice.
the description. Okay. Peon. Eo. To the end, son.
That shit mad disrespectful.
All right. Oh, this one's for you. It is a brief sexual act, something to do in a hurry. Spell quickie in your best Biggie
You
voice.
definitely gonna fuck this up.
Cute to the.
Fuck this up.
All right, well, first of all, how you spell quickie?
That's the point. It's a spelling bee.
All right, let me get the origin, please.
It's a noun.
Okay.
Example.
Two people
Young,
having sex quickly.
example. Young Miami. Yeah, bitch, I'm from the city. I'm litty.
She got the
Diamonds
actual
drippy.
origin.
Eat my pussy. That's a quickie.
All right. QUKIE, quickie.
That's correct.
My name is Biggie.
I was waiting for
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, I hope I can live up to this.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. I'll give you a. This is one of my favorite songs now, but it's a homie, a ride or die, to do someone dirty. It's a noun. Spell slime.
Slime?
Slime. You're my slime.
I ain't heard this. This is some new shit.
My partner in
That's some,
crime.
I've never
Harlem
heard
shit.
slime. That sounds nasty.
Slime has been a term of endearment sometimes too.
Okay, this is the. You want me to use it in a
Like,
sentence?
what up, slime? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sound like you can't breathe and shit. It's the S
You
to
have
the
an internal heart
L
attack.
to the I to the I'm slime.
Right.
All right, you
Fuck
win.
the letters.
You win.
Fuck the letters.
You win. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. All right. Ghetto spelling bee, man.
Hey, no, look out for real, man. Tequila and the Bee is coming back, man. We gonna do it with Mila.
Thank you.
And this shit gonna be crazy, man. This shit.
Yo.
Oh, my man was so tired of hearing
R.I.P.
me.
Biggie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
rest in peace,
R.I.P.
Biggie.
Biggie, man. No, I mean,
Your Biggie was the worst.
yeah, you suck.
What?
Oh,
Replay
dang.
it. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, no, that was worse. That was the.
No, see, you're hating.
I am.
Clearly, which means I was the number one, actually.
You ready to end the show now?
Negative one.
Yeah, no, but I'm actually concerned
Negative
about.
one?
I'm concerned about. First of all, the fact that I spelled quickie wrong on purpose to make it fit the
No,
bar.
you actually spelled it right.
You spelled it
thought
right.
you spelled it wrong.
You thought you spelled it
Oh,
wrong.
That's so much better.
You
Nigga,
spelled
you
it
really
right.
can't read. You actually spelled
accidentally
this.
I
spelled it right.
QUIKE.
Oh, you forgot
what?
the C.
You forgot the C.
Yeah.
No, quickie. Oh.
Yeah. Hello. Bars.
It's-
No, but your Biggie impression was whack.
But it's
Oh,
also,
all right, that's
it's
fine.
also a
I'll take that. I'll take
spelling.
that.
that's what I'm saying.
It's like the
Exactly.
C is not required.
Exactly. Which is why what I
I
did
don't
was
give a shit
fucking
if you spell it
genius.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said SL. I'm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all right.
Exactly.
That was clever as shit.
3 letters.
This
one
is
syllable.
ghetto. There are no rules. I make the rules.
Exactly.
All right, so you hated on me.
Yeah, you know what? The rule number 1: always hate on a mind.
Always hit her mom. And fuck about
This mic has hit me in my face 8 times.
Hey, look.
How many other?
I don't want to comment on that. That's-
Yep, I had the whole bag.
There's no pause on that because it's real.
Get up.
And look at me.
ass.
Look at with your suburban
Not get our
space.
ass.
All right, man. What's
I
this?
can't with y'all.
This is 139? 138. Hold on.
And then, I want to leave off with, we read your bio and you talking about how much Wu-Tang inspired you. You're going to have to name all of the Wu-Tang clan.
No 3.
You said she only know 3?
Oh, you talking about Danny? I thought you were
Yeah.
him.
On her bio, she was like, so Wu-Tang has really inspired me. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
Wu-Tang has inspired me
Yeah.
because
Yeah, what's the run them off?
And you got to give them in alphabetical order.
y'all, I'm not on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't succumb to peer pressure. But what I will say is this, like being able to understand the RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, Matt, goddamn, I find this nigga.
Golden Arms.
Method
The light-skinned
Man. No, not just because he's method. Oh, well, anyway. But my point is this. The reason that they inspire me is because my official name is Tamika Danielle Jackson. And in 2006, that was the most discriminated name according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Yeah, in the Chicago Sun-Times, Tamika and Rashid were the most discriminated names against in corporate America.
I gotta look
Is that why
article.
you changed it to Danny?
Yeah, so the options I had on the table.
Why don't you throw her some hate for using a different name?
I had my people together.
over?
I had my people together, and I was like, "Look, what we gonna do? We either got Danny or we got Jack." And they was like, "Yo, Jack is
gonna be
that's
transgender
real hard. Jack is
They
real
be like,
hard."
"What's your name, Jackie?"
So I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, I'll do Danny." And actually, my first year of grad school, I didn't even know how to spell it. They were like, "How do you spell it?" I was like, "Well,
with an I."
I was like a D-A to the N to the I."
The Binky voice.
You know what I'm saying? But what I loved about Wu-Tang is that they had so many AKAs. You know what I'm saying? So rather than embodying the pain of what society is, I could embody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Method Man's real name is Clifford.
Yeah.
Okay?
Trash
You
as
know?
fuck.
Yeah.
Clifford.
He looks like a Clifford too.
Yeah.
But in real life, the nigga is the iron lung. Okay?
right.
So, you know, like
You know all
for
the
me to be able to have like an AKA and like to say like, okay, well, my family calls me Tamika, but in corporate life, I go by Danny. And if you get to use Tamika, you're very privileged.
I feel like names are like Christmas gifts, right? You didn't ask for it, and
that's
it might not
beautiful.
fit, right? And so while I cherish why my father chose this name, he didn't choose it for me. He chose it because that's what he wanted to name me, which I think is fair. So I haven't legally changed my name, but you're going to call me what it is that I wish to answer to. And so that name carries with it a lot of lightness. It's also very feminine because I've struggled with being misgendered. Yeah, like when people make up their mind that Kellen Marshall is a white man.
Yeah.
They've already created a narrative. So when I sit there as a Black woman, you see them like, wait, what just happened? So I do like having a name that also lets you know I am a woman because it's very important to me. I'm a woman 24/7. I mean, I own that. And I like people knowing, oh, this is a chick that we're about to talk to because whatever politics you have, get ready for it. Prepare. So I like my name. Plus, Mila Marshall kind of goes together.
I like it. Well, salute to y'all, man. Listen, Black women are the best thing on the planet.
Hey now.
Quite simply, all white people agree with that. All racists agree with that. All sexists agree with that. Like everybody agrees that Black women are the dopest shit in the world. So we're very happy to
we love you all.
be able to have this conversation on the Corner Convo about Black women in Women's History Month. And fuck you, Abazi.
Episode 139. We out. Fuck y'all for having me do all this editing too.
Y'all got some major editing to do.
That was a 3-hour show. Unnecessary.
We were just making it.
It's not a 3-hour show.